In February, Jonathan Hayes of Fort Kent set out on a 7-day solo sled dog expedition. His intent was to honor Togo, the legendary sled dog, and musher Leonard Seppala, who in 1925 delivered a life-saving serum to Nome, Alaska to combat diphtheria. The story was told in a 2010 Disney movie called Togo.
Now, Togo eventually was brought to Poland Spring and died there. Hayes mushes a team of sled dogs, all descended from Togo. This expedition was his way of honoring the rich history surrounding Togo's epic journey. Now, a few weeks before the expedition, Jonathan reached out to Jeremy Grant, a Maine filmmaker and videographer, to ask if he would make a documentary about this journey. Jeremy's answer, a resounding yes.
And I get this email, hey, I know you probably get this all the time, but I'm going on this big dog sled expedition. And it's going to be through the most remote country of Maine with this rare heritage breed dog that is descendants of Togo. And Togo happened to have lineage here in Maine. I'm like, wait, what? So it all just kind of fell together. The story was too good not to take on.
Any story that gets Jeremy Grant out into the Maine woods is his kind of story. Through his Timbercross film and media company, he tackles adventures around the state, hoping to inspire folks to get outside. Jonathan Hayes asked just the right guy to document his expedition.
But I loved John's passion.
Yeah.
I loved his dedication and his willingness to tackle something that no one else had done. And I loved that it involved not just him. It was a solo expedition. Each day on the trail, he would do 40 to 55 miles or 20 miles, whatever each day required by himself, with very limited help or assistance. But it took a community of friends and people that just cared about this project to help orchestrate, to help guide him through these remote places in Maine.
The expedition started in Fort Kent, often traveling in parts of the woods where there weren't even logging roads, and the team had to sometimes break their own trail. They stayed at hunting camps along the way. When word spread about the expedition, hunting camps offered lodging, a meal, even raw moose meat for the dogs.
Thankfully, I had a lot of great woodsmen, people who really know the North Maine woods, who just jumped on board. And when I finished a section, and I was at a sporting camp, the owner of that sporting camp or the Allagash Ranger would sit down with me with my Maine Atlas and Gazetteer from DeLorme and help me plot the next day's travel.
Jeremy had his own set of challenges to plan for. Apart from navigating areas where there were no roads, it was the dead of winter, with temperatures often 10 to 20 below zero at night.
So some of the logistics were part of the fun and the challenge of trying to captivate this. First off, how do I get myself into as many of these places as Jonathan is going to be so I can get these raw, candid moments?
Do you have any ballpark figure of how many miles you traveled to support his 200?
His was 287.
Yeah.
Mine, I think, was around 1,100. Yeah. Because there's just so much,
Sure.
in and out, back and forth.
8 dogs, 285 miles with all this gear. Maybe I'm asking too much.
Jeremy equipped Jonathan with a camera and relied heavily on a drone, not only to capture the team, but to locate Jonathan from a distance, as they often traveled after dark, with only a headlamp to light the way.
Jonathan doesn't have an active GPS tracker on him, so I have no idea where he is. We have radios. He used it once and it worked for 7 seconds.
Man, I don't know if I'm gonna pull this off.
The drone was a huge part in the documentary because it just allows you to see the grand scape and scale of some of these places in Maine, and just to give you some unique angles of the remoteness of him going in.
But I know we got one more day in this, and we're gonna do today.
Jeremy says they became like brothers, one man on a mission to honor a legendary dog, the other determined to document that mission and capture the spirit and determination it takes to navigate the North Maine woods. What do you want folks to get out of this documentary when they watch it?
I want people to be inspired and educated. I want people to be inspired to do something that might be unique or different just follow a passion that they want to do. Who cares what anyone else thinks? What are you most interested in? How can you be the most you can be? For John, you need to strap that man to some dogs.
That's true. Now, True North Legends of Dogs and Men will debut tomorrow as part of the 12th annual Poland Heritage Day celebration with showings at 1:30 and 8 p.m. The weekend will also mark the 175th anniversary of Poland Spring Water and will include all sorts of family-friendly events, including the unveiling of the Togo Storybook Trail, as well as dog sled demonstrations, food, games, and a 5K. We will have more information about all the events in the 207 section of our website and mobile app.
It's a story I know that you've been following for a while.
Yeah, we covered it a little bit before Jonathan left, and then we did a story with Jonathan in the dead of winter last year when he actually did the expedition, which was fascinating. And then Jeremy's had this documentary in the works, so we've kept tabs on that. And all of these efforts also are to honor Togo, and there are plans in the works to erect a statue in Poland Spring of Togo, and that is ongoing, and we'll have more information about that as well in the web story.
A lot of pieces in this story.
Keeps going. The story that keeps going.